Everything is new again, walking with a permagrin, head so high. I'm back with you and all is right. Shaking on the apple tree, ticking off the honeybees, watch them fly. It's just like we never said goodbye.
How did you get in here? Come over here. I don't know. I gotta get you over there. I'll take care of that later. But anyways, for the rest of you who aren't sheep, not in the correct pen, I am NihonTiger. Welcome back to NihonTiger on NeoCraft. This is the last episode, I think, that we're going to be working on our lovely, lovely little terraces. And the reason for that is we've got almost the entire thing done. We just need to go ahead and plant some crops now. In order to do that, we're going to need to set our fences up. So this is how I kind of want to do it, I think. Starting like so. Nope, I ran out of fence posts. I'm going to have to make more of them as the episode goes on. So you will see me wander about a little bit, trying to get this all settled. Like that. And that. I'll break this block just for good measure. Make it look nice and even. Or whatever. Anyways, today we have this project to work on. We also have something to discuss. Now, those of you who follow me on Twitter will know that I probably mentioned today's episode will be a lot of quote-unquote no issues. One moment. Yes, the YouTube stuff. That's gonna be another video entirely. Oh. Gosh, those are loud sounds. And where do I want to put the water down? It's gotta be 5 blocks away. So 1, 2, 3. So this is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's gotta be like right here. That should work, right? If I put this right here, it should get all... Oh. There we go. Click on the right spot this time. Okay. Oh, wait. No. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to first... Yeah. Let's see. They were also talking about Project M stuff earlier. So, for those of you that see anything discussion-wise about Project M, which is the fan-made mod for Super Smash Brothers, I think. Which one is it? Is it Melee? Melee, yeah, because is it Brawl? Is it Brawl? Am I converting it to Melee? I don't remember. I don't remember these things. I don't follow the Smash community a whole lot. But yeah, it should work. So 3, 4. I think that should be enough, right? That should water all of these blocks. And I'll leave that up here. Just leave this up here as a test. But you can see it's already starting to fill in. No, it only goes 4 out. Okay. So that means these blocks over here are eventually gonna revert. So I might as well. At least this one's gonna revert. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Because these should all get watered. So it's gotta go 4 from here. So yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this needs to be like probably right here. It actually is pretty good with the water buckets. I should fill these buckets up as well. But yeah, we're gonna finish this up today, or at least gonna start on it, and I'll at least give you an idea of what it's gonna look like. I may not finish the whole thing on camera. I may decide to simply go ahead and finish this off camera. It's gonna take me a long while to actually go ahead and get this all set up properly. And bring that torch. So we'll also need to set up a way to light all of this stuff up. So for now I'll do that. I was thinking maybe I would put some glowstone blocks hidden around here, or like set some redstone lamps into the wall. Is this gonna not work? So consider that to be too far away. This strip here. I'll have to move this over one. I might have to. These won't take water. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. It'll be a lot easier. Go ahead and just set that like that. And get some dirt on my hotbar. Just do that, so that way these will all take as far as water goes. And this will be 1, 2, 3. I think that's probably as far as I can go. That's that one, right? Yeah. So you can see this is all filling in pretty well. And this will all be up here. This is all going to be seeds. This is all going to be wheat. On the top layer. The top couple layers here are just going to all be wheat. I wonder something. Let me test this out. If I do that, does it water that block or does it not? Does it only affect the block that's directly next to it? We'll leave this here as a test. Maybe these 3. Okay. So, you see that's all watered. Ready to go. Careful dropping down here so I don't break anything. If these don't work, I'll just have to come up with a different solution to get those watered. So, but today, oh, it's raining out. Rain. Turn the sound down a little bit so I can. I wasn't expecting it to rain. I should have expected rain. It is a Minecraft server after all, so I should have expected some sort of rain. And I'll leave that there. See if those will get water. This is kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to plan this, where to put the various blocks so that the water blocks so that I can get this hydrated in the fewest blocks possible, and thus have the largest possible crop field on this terrace. So this is all going to be wheat, and then this one down here, I think this one down here is going to be, I was thinking reeds, sugar cane is what they call it nowadays. As the kids call it now, sugar cane. Yep, there we go. This water will also affect some of these blocks, so we can go ahead and probably grab these ones as well. Yeah, those are all. Right now, seeds already. Look at that. So that's probably as far as we can go with that. No, maybe we can go a little further. Can we see if I want to see if it gets these blocks as well. And this will have to go. Block. Oh, I should probably move that out. There. Okay. Yep, that one's wet now. Alright. So, these ones... Oh, yep, that one's got at least a little bit of water on it. These two, this one probably won't get any water on the back here. But this one might. So I might have to put a block here to get this to properly be hydrated. Yeah, it's all kind of a big puzzle, so to speak. You're trying to figure out the best way to get the crops all watered and ready to grow. And it's already starting to grow a little bit too. But I have rambled on long enough because I have something I want to talk about today. And as I mentioned, there will be some feels, some good old-fashioned feels in today's episode. So today is December 12th. Today is a very special day. for my family, for everyone in my family. Actually, it's a very special day. It's a very special day for me as well, and probably a pretty important one in the long and short of things, because oh no, it's the rain. The rain is messing things up because it's getting all it's going ahead and oh damn it! Now I'm gonna have to wait till it stops raining. Rain is messing. Damn it, rain! The one time I don't need you here, go ahead and mess everything up. So now I don't know, and I'm gonna have to wait till it stops raining for this stuff to work. But for down here, I don't even actually need to do this, do I? No. I can go ahead and jump on these and get them back because I don't need to fallow the ground for that. It'll work just fine. Just as long as there's a water block, like right around where I'm gonna place them. So, like, put one here, possibly. And that will grant me right to stuff here. Yeah, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have put those blocks there. Alright, so I'm gonna do that and that. I can't do that because it's on the corner. There's ways to set stuff up like this where you can have it be in as few blocks as possible. Like I probably want to put that's a fence post. That's also going to be a fence post, and that's going to be a fence post. So I don't know why I put those there. Let me pick this back up. This is hard planning. This is hard to plan out, you know, where these things go. So I'm going to put the fence post down first, and that way I know that's what. But as I was saying, before I interrupted myself, today is a very important day for my family. Today is my dad's birthday. Now things start to make a little more sense. I was talking about feels, right? Well, maybe a little bit, but I'll describe it, and you'll understand why I said that. So, today is my dad's birthday, and he's old. He's pretty old. He is going to be, I believe, if I remember doing my math right, he's going to be 64. So, quite a bit older than I am. And he's also originally from, oh, I can do that, that's awesome. He's from good old state that I grew up in, Michigan. So, he's back home. He's probably not watching this because my parents generally don't watch my Let's Play videos. They don't even really know that I do them. They know I play Minecraft, but they don't know that I do these videos. I don't really talk about it with them too much. And it's mostly because I don't think they're really interested in, you know, Let's Play videos. They'd be like, oh, okay. That's a thing you do. Well, do you enjoy doing it? Yes. Okay. Whatever. It's like, it's just a thing to them, really. It's, you know, it's not like, for me it's a hobby, and for them it's just a thing I do on weekends. Probably they don't really seem to care too much. So I don't really bring it up too much with them to start with. It goes there, it goes there. I have to kind of box myself in a little bit. Okay. So if I do that, and I have a water bucket here. Alright. And that. And I think this goes like that. And that. Yep. Canes down there. I can't put one down here yet. There's gotta be a way I can do that. Okay, I can't put one right there. So, yes, it is my dad's birthday. And he's 64. And yeah, he's from Michigan. He is like myself. He's of Polish heritage. In fact, my grandfather was a immigrant from Poland who moved to Detroit. We came in through, I think the way they traced it back was that he came in through, let's say, Philadelphia. and he ended up in Detroit because I think he had a brother that lived there. So that is how that all came about. And this is looking really nice. I like how this looks so far. But I can't really talk about what he does for a living, specifically like where he works and stuff like that. I'm not really supposed to talk about that for various, I guess, security reasons. But he's an engineer, and he does not make YouTube videos as a hobby for fun. He's too old for that stuff. Well, not really. He's not too old for that stuff. No one's really too old to make YouTube videos, but he is more of a I wouldn't even say casual gamer. He's just more of a guy who likes to play games and do things at his own pace when he has time. So, I knew it was gonna do that. As soon as I did that, I knew it was gonna do that. All right. So one bucket there, one bucket there, and block. Block. And patch you back up. And put down some sugar cane. Right there. I wonder if I could put some water back here and just get this whole back row. That would be a really easy way to do it. Maybe do it like that, and then I could have fence posts kind of here, like that. And maybe some grass blocks as well at some point. That, and that. Okay, so that kind of sets that up, and that creates our upper fence, and these are going to grow to be 3 high, so they'll actually kind of block this. Excuse me. They'll actually kind of block this back part here. And if it goes quiet there for a second, I had to cough, so I edited that out. But that is going to be, I think, what we do with that. And have it just kind of be back like that. And, I just think that's fix there. Oh well, I'll fix that. But let's go ahead and put these up. But my dad, he's a bit of a gamer. He came from a rather large family. He's a lot of brothers and sisters in his family. And so, you know, I came from a relatively small family in comparison. We didn't have a bunch of family members like he did. He had a ton. So a little bit different in that aspect. But, you know, despite all that, despite the fact that he's my dad, I kind of went through a phase in my teens. You know, every kid goes through that phase where they don't want to be like their parents. They don't want to be just like them. They want to be different. They want to be, individuals, unique. And I very much went through that phase. I very much went through the phase where I'm not going to be like my dad. My dad's not cool. Well, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm going to be independent. I'm going to be an independent woman. Yes, sir. So I went through that phase, and eventually, oh, look at that! I'm hitting infinite water source. Oh my goodness, that's excellent. That's excellent actually, because that'll be very helpful. They don't do that. Shoot. I'm on the soap pick, so I'm gonna have to replace that at some point with a different water source. That. But, I went through that phase in my teen years where it was like, I don't want to be like Dad. I'm not going to be like him at all. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better than Dad. Much better than him. I'm going to be awesome. And I'm going to do all kinds of awesome things with my life. I'm going to be, a race car driver, space pilot, astronaut or something. Technically, if I was a space pilot, I would also be an astronaut. I don't quite understand why I would want to do both. So, I went through that phase. I went through that phase where I was like, I'm not going to be like my parents at all. I'm going to be a nice guy who's awesome at everything and plays rock and roll guitar in an all, all rock band. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm just trying to make stuff up here to sound like I'm cool. But I was very set on doing that. I was very set on being different and unique and awesome in my own way. And I thought, man, my dad's not cool. He's just a lame-o guy. He sits around all day and just fixes stuff every once in a while. And that's what Dad does, and I don't want to do that. Oh, that's how I do it. So I get to do this. And I want to stagger. That's right. That will maximize my space if I do that. That's right. I'm trying to remember how to do it. So let's stagger this. So this one would want to be probably right here. I can grab from the bucket. Look up there. Yeah, that works. That's right. That's how you do it. Should remember how to do that. So stagger it right. Wait, no, it's got to be here. So like that, and that, and go there, and block that up. And this goes so, and so. So I'm going to move one here, put it there, and as a young man at the time, I kind of sat around and thought, well, my dad as well as being himself, he was also kind of, I guess I would always think of him as old-fashioned or something along those lines, where he was just this guy who set in his ways and doing his thing. And I thought, man, that's not the way I want to live my life. I want to live my life like, I'm awesome and I'm gonna do all kinds of awesome things, like go kayaking and rollerblade down Mount Everest, or stupid crap like that. Stupid crap that I thought would be cool as a young man. And I realized that, many years later, when I had successfully done everything to not be like my dad, and I had avoided becoming an engineer like my sisters had, I had avoided that, and I thought, haha, I've avoided being an engineer. That's great. That's what my dad would have wanted me to do. So I'm not going to do it, because screw that noise. I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to go into writing, because, well, at the time I really liked writing, and I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. And my mom was really, encouraging me to be a writer. She said, you want to be, if you want to be a journalist or a writer or whatnot, you should do it. And she's always supported me with that, and to a lesser extent, so is my dad. But I always said that I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be awesome and all that cool stuff. And when push comes to shove, I look back now as an older man who has some experience in life, who has learned a few things here and there about the world and all its things. That I'm pretty much exactly like my dad. I have a stubborn streak. I'll say that. He can be a very, very stubborn man at times when it comes to doing things his way, and I can also very much be very, very stubborn at times when I want to do things my way. Maybe not so much, not so stubborn as he was, so just I guess you could say, but I can be quite, obstinate. For those of you that know what that word means, I can be quite obstinate about how I want to have things done, how I think things should be, and I don't necessarily, get angry if things don't go my way, but I kind of have that little bit of stubbornness in me, and he has some interests that we both share, and he likes Western movies and war movies a lot. I don't really like them so much as he does. He watches the old John Wayne movies and things of that nature, which they're really actually pretty good. I would suggest watching them. There's a very awesome cinematography with them, very beautiful films, and even if you don't really necessarily like them for their story, they look great, and it's something worth watching for that alone. But he really likes those kind of movies. Why did I make ladders? I make fence posts. I'm just so used to making ladders now. I had to make ladders for all kinds of things, but no, I have some extra ladders now. So whatever. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these and see if they stay or if they go back to being. Oh, okay. Wait, no. Those might also be tampered with due to the rain. So I can't get that. I can't get anything there. But yeah, my dad, he really likes those Western movies. He loves those John Wayne classics and whatnot. And he also, and this is where I start admitting that I'm more like my dad than I realize. He also really, 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 really likes sci-fi stuff. He is a huge Star Trek fan. Absolutely huge Star Trek fan. And I realized this years later that he's bigger into that than I even thought he was. He'll sit down, and sometimes when we're sitting at home, he'll sit down and watch not just the Next Generation stuff. He'll watch, if you put Deep Space Nine out for him, he'd probably watch that. He used to watch Enterprise when that was on UPN. I'm pretty sure he did, at least, because I think that started coming on when I was getting into high school and graduating and going to college. So okay, oh, yep. Some of these are turning dry. That's a bad sign. Let me try this again. Let's see if that works. It might not, because it might be 1, 2, 3. I might consider it to be 4 blocks away. But it should, because this one didn't dry up. Interesting. But yeah, he likes Star Wars. He's a fan of those films. He's the guy who, when I wanted to go see Iron Man, he's the one who came with me to watch that. Oh, okay. So I might need to put a water bucket up here somewhere. Just maybe hide it somewhere. You could probably hide it underneath. Can I hide it like right down here? And then see if does that work? Does it have like a hidden dirt block? I've never tested that before. I wonder if it will hydrate all these areas up here. Worth a shot at testing, I guess. So let's see if that works. But yeah, he'll sit there and he'll watch that stuff with me, and it's good father-son bonding time, I guess you could say. I like how this stuff is already growing. That's great. Guess that at least that's starting to do its thing. I don't think that's gonna work. I think it might be a little too far underground. So if I go ahead and I pick this up, and I put this here. Instead, I do it like right here. Well, that should work, because it should hydrate all these blocks if that's the case. Just like they were doing down there. So yeah, that's working now. Okay. And so this one also, I probably want to just throw a tiny little bit of water behind that, like so, and that should work for that, as well as all these other blocks. Make sure they're all hydrated. Oh, so you can see the water underneath there, but that's not going to be an issue. And these are all grown and covering things up, so that'll be fine. That'll be fine. It should be fine at least. plant all those. I'll see if that works. But yeah, he's also, you know, really big into like Battlestar Galactica and Stargate and all those like those 90s sci-fi series. He doesn't watch much Doctor Who. And I think that's because I haven't introduced it to him yet. I may do that over the holidays, and if I do, I'll report back to you how it goes. But I have a feeling if I introduce it to him, that he will love it, and he will watch it. Like, you know, it will be his new thing that he watches. I'm not even sure if he's, you know, really familiar with what Doctor Who is, and, you know, the history behind it and all those things. But I have a feeling if, you know, that could be like the next thing that we end up sitting down and watching together when I'm home. Or when I'm visiting him. I always say I'm home, and everybody tells me that they do this, so I'm not the only one on the planet who does this, who's so used and so conditioned to thinking, you know, well, I'm home, so they always say they're home when they're just going to visit their parents. Now, oh, that's right, I gotta plug some of these up because I didn't quite fill them in all the way. Just made a bit of a dirt. There we go. Bit of a dirt hole. But my dad is, you know, he's big into that sci-fi stuff, and the reason I can tell this story is, you know, over Christmas we went, you know, Christmas tree shopping, and I'm there, I'm walking with him, I'm carrying the saw. And the first thing he says to me when he sees me with the saw is he's like, "Okay, remember, you know, if somebody comes at you and takes the tree we want, you just gotta hold it up like that Klingon thing, you know." And he makes little sound effects. He's talking about, I think it's the Klingon ceremonial weapon, what's it called? It's got the weird funny name. I think it's like the Batcliff or something like that. It's that thing I can't pronounce in the Klingon language because I can't get the syllables right for that. So, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, like the big two-handed thing that they have with the curved blade. That's what I'm talking about. And he's like telling me to have the tree saw in my hands, holding it like that. And at that point, that was kind of the point that this whole thing came about. And I realized, you know, well, my dad is just as big a nerd as I am. But, yeah. It was fine, though. It's cool. I don't mind it anymore. You know, maybe when I was younger, I would have been like, "Oh, God, my dad likes my stuff. This is so uncool. Oh, it's so totally uncool, man. You know, I gotta go find some new stuff I like." But, you know, nowadays, it's like, yeah, whatever, cool. Something we can chit-chat about over Christmas dinner, you know, which Doctor is our favorite. Maybe we'll do that next year, once I get hooked on that. But yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, I also look back and I see things that a couple of years ago I began to recognize these things that, you know, my dad he's a gamer. He's definitely a huge gamer. He's much more of a gamer than I actually ever thought, or, you know, I would think, or that I really anticipated when I was growing up. And the reason for that is, you know, you go downstairs in the basement and ow. All right, let's pull her back up. But you go back downstairs in the basement and you look, and there was this Apple IIe that I instructed him that he would keep for me. And the reason for that is because I one day want to, you know, I do intend to take possession of it and keep it somewhere. And I don't think I'll be able to let's play games off it, sadly. I think that's a bridge too far as far as, you know, issues with copyright and whatnot. There's a lot of the companies that used to make those games that are now in various pieces and sold off to other companies, and it's kind of a huge mess. So I don't think that's something I can reasonably expect to do. But yeah, he has that big, you know. Oh, I have to drop down here too. Howdy ho. He's got this, you know, these not cabinets, but like these cases full of old Apple IIe programs and games like Wavy Navy and Choplifter and Load Runner and all these really cool old school games that you'd probably recognize if you heard me mention the name, and you'd be like, whoa, you played those growing up? Yeah, I played them a hell of a lot growing up. You kidding me? I played them all the time. Oh, poor Shane. Poor buddy. Whatever's bugging him isn't bugging him too much, but yeah, those are the games I grew up playing, and in a large part, that early education is something that my dad is responsible for, and something that I am completely and totally, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever going to be grateful for, because without playing those games, without getting the the early experience playing those games and learning about a lot of the basics of game design and appreciating games for what they are, I don't think I would even be doing this today. I don't think I would enjoy Minecraft. I don't think I would ever have gotten into SimCity or, games like that where, they eventually led to Minecraft and led to me doing this. So I owe him a lot of appreciation for that. And, Super NES games as well. He loved playing Gradius. I mean, Gradius 3 on the Super NES. That game is hard as balls, but he loved playing it. He loved playing it. I don't know if he still plays that anymore. He plays a lot more DS stuff now and Game Boy Advance stuff. I think he was playing Zelda last time, Spirit Tracks. He likes the Zelda series. But yeah, I mean, that's stuff that I grew up playing, and I'm only playing it because he played those games, and he helped make sure that those were the games I was playing when I was younger. Let me grab some seeds as well. I have a whole bunch of seeds. I was ready for this project one day, but yeah, he'd play like these old school games for the Mac, like Pathways in the Darkness was the one he made, and he's that one he wasn't made, but it was the one he spent the most time on, and he's got this almost his Bible of maps and clues and everything that he's written down in Pathways in the Darkness. He's probably the most complete guide for that game. That it's not a game FAQs guide or a video walkthrough that I've ever seen in my life, and he did all the work for it. I do need to get a picture of it sometime. I'll have to bug him about finding it so I can take some photos of it and put them on Twitter or put them in a video or something. But he's got this huge binder that's just full of maps and everything else for this game, and it's like the craziest thing that I've ever seen. And I eventually would do that stuff with other games myself, so I totally understand why he would do that, because that game is also really, really hard. You're on a timer, and you gotta get this, you gotta get things done, or the evil god reawakens and everyone's screwed. But I digress. So that's not totally what I'm here to talk about. I'm also here to talk about the other things that my dad did. It wasn't just the gaming stuff that mattered. It was all the time that he put in for me, for things that I was involved in, especially like Boy Scouts. They needed someone to lead the troop at some point, and he volunteered to do it. The guy who had done it before, his kid had basically graduated onto the Boy Scouts, or he basically graduated high school and the Scouts, and so nobody was doing it. Nobody was people were going to step forward obviously at some point and do it, but nobody was really chomping at the bit to do it. And he took time out of his day, out of his hard his hard working day, because he had before he'd do these things, he'd go and he'd work a 8-hour shift to bring home money for us, and as I would find out later, to also save up enough money for help pay for college a little bit for my sister and myself. And it worked out great for me, but he would do that, and he would come home and pick me up and take me out to Boy Scouts, and all that stuff. And he was my soccer coach for many years when I started out playing soccer. He was the guy who was coaching me, and he'd spend hours, out in the field practicing, running around with these little kids, making sure that his own son was enjoying it and having fun and learning sportsmanship and all these important life lessons that would be very important for him one day. So he would do that, and I later on in life I began to realize how many sacrifices that he, as well as my mom as well, made for me and my sisters. And when you think about that, and he's also the one who actually lived close to my grandmother, his mom, for a long time. He had a sister as well that basically lived with her, but he was the one who kind of took up the cause, making sure that she was all right. Because my grandma only lived about she lived basically, it was a huge, there were like different subdivisions, but it was basically like one giant neighborhood that we grew up in, and she basically lived like on the other side of the subdivision neighborhood thingy from us. And so he would go out there and make sure that she was all right and everything was good and whatnot. And I never really heard him complain about it. Maybe it's because I was young, but he never complained that about those things. It was always just something that he did. And as I sit here now, and I'm kind of in the situation where I'm old enough to know these things and appreciate these things, and I think to myself that I really owe them more than I can ever possibly think to repay them. And it's not just like oh, I owe them for YouTube, and I don't really owe them for that much, just everything else that they've ever done for me in my life. And I personally feel like I can never repay them for that. And I know my mom would say, well, don't repay us for it, just make sure she would always say, just make sure you take care of us when we're old. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So that's one of the things I'll probably end up doing a lot of, is if I stick around here, I'll probably be the guy. I'll probably be in the same situation where I'm the one who ends up having to keep an eye on them and call and visit and all that good stuff, and kind of all that stuff. But that's fine. I can deal with that. I don't know. That's off in the future probably. I'm not worried about that too much. But I always feel like whatever I could do for them, it wouldn't be good enough. And the other thing though, is even with all that stuff, even with the fact that I feel like I can't repay them, I don't want to be a person who ends up one day sitting here and regretting that they could not have they could have done more. They could have done more, be nice to their parents, or be kind to them, or remember them when you're out doing stuff and having fun, but not forget about them, not leave them to sit there by themselves, alone, just hanging out. You know what I mean, right? Basically, just don't be a dick. But yeah, I feel like I don't feel like I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that kind of person who who wakes up one day when they're 40 and says, man, my parents, when I was in my 20s, I should have spent more time with them, because they're in their, they might be in their 70s or 80s now, and they might be so far away. Yeah, even that, it's not like something bad has to happen to them, I could move out to California, and I could end up missing them a whole lot, because I might not be able to see them very often like I can now. And I might just say, man, when I was living closer to them, I should have done more. I should have gone home, or I should have called them more often, or I should have done this when I had the chance, when it was easy for me to do that. When that opportunity presented itself. I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to end up feeling that kind of regret, because I don't want to be the person who has any regrets. Now look at that. This is obviously still a work in progress. I have to fill in the rest of these, and it's going to take me a bit of time off camera, so I'm probably going to finish it off camera, but that is looking awesome. Wow, I am loving that. You can also see I put in the mossy cobble that I said I was going to put in as detail. It looks really nice. But wow, that looks great. Obviously it'll look better when there's more stuff, so there'll be more layers that have like potatoes and carrots and more of the reeds and sugarcane as well. But you know, not everyone is lucky enough to have the same situation that I do. I know some people who you know, they don't even wish their dad a happy birthday because they don't have a relationship with their father, and that's usually because their father doesn't have a relationship with them, either through divorce or through, you know, he died, or, you know, something like that, you know, where they don't have that opportunity to do something like this and have a dad around, and or like even just a figure like that. It doesn't have to be a dad. It doesn't have to be a male. It can be, you know, it can be a mom too. But you know, I just am grateful for that, and I don't think my dad's ever gonna watch this video. You know, I might try and show my parents it, and I don't know if they're gonna ever watch it. I might tell them it's up here, and oh god, how do I get in now? I kind of screwed myself when I built that, didn't I? Oh, gotta break this. Yeah, break that cap. All right, but I don't, you know, I don't really care either way, because it just feels good to say this. You know, it feels good to talk about this and be appreciative of having someone around who was able to do all those things. So this is the part where all the you probably are like, you're like, okay, now I get why the feels are here, right? Yeah, now you get why the feels are here. But I just want to say before we end this episode, because it's running really long, I just want to say, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and good luck, good mining, have fun. I'll see you next time. And happy birthday, Dad. It's a great one.